So I was sent away for the last 2 hours. He's got the pump out, and here we have a new one. So I am allowed to join again, right?
You have to have fingers like a climber, okay? Where you can hook in a hole and lift your entire body weight. She's almost crying.
I'm not.
Okay, let's see what she's complaining about.
Beautiful start. Oh my God. Yeah, there is definitely a whining in the power steering pump. Yeah, that is definitely a noise we did not have before the rebuild. So I don't know if we messed something up or if something just broke. So our queen is all fixed. We changed all oils yesterday, and now after 5 weeks we can finally work on my Discovery again.
Pop the hood. Okay, we're supposed to disconnect the battery, but if we do, we can't raise the window when it's starting to rain, so we rather take the chance that the car catches on fire. It's also losing fluid here.
I noticed this problem, but the queen was more important for 4 weeks.
So was Fabian's car.
Oh my God.
We have spillage here. Ooh, look at that. But this is not water.
And that is not normal.
Okay, it does look like power steering fluid. And it makes sense that the power steering pump is whiny.
Yeah, and it is whiny. Christian was going to argue with me. Maybe it does sound like always. No, it doesn't. I don't see any fluid.
So
I think it's a hose, Christian. So we got a comment that this can hit the radiator. Of course, Christian is not that stupid.
At least not always.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there is, of course, a stop.
And this turns over to the other side if you engage the winch. And if you turn it back, it disengages the winch. And the winch is in here, okay?
Yeah.
Let's get your cooling fan out. There's definitely the same oil here.
Well, there is an obvious problem with the power steering.
But we have to find the source of the oil.
So.
Okay, let's see if we see more now. Okay, let's see if we see something here. Is this coolant or is this oil? Let me
That's
see.
oil. Coolant looks different.
It's oil.
I think here we have a leak here.
I think you need new power steering hoses.
That connection here.
That connection is wasted, look.
Yeah. So that looks also already
Yeah,
old.
we're gonna have to replace both of them. Those hoses are almost 20 years old very soon.
Yeah. Christian's gonna order everything we need, and then we'll make a video.
And then we continue the video. We started right here.
Yeah. So the first thing we have to do on any given Saturday when we work on one of our many cars, we have to rearrange them. We are not working on the queen, the drama queen. We are working on my beautiful Discovery sweep and tackle that steering noise we have ever since we touched the car during our rebuild.
We don't really know what the problem is, but trust me, I got all the parts. Gonna replace the power steering pump and the lines. I think it's making that noise, but I'm not 100% sure. And I know now there are plenty of people out there who have so much experience that they know exactly if it's the steering rack or the pump, but I don't. So I start with the easy thing, which is the pump. This is actually a pretty straightforward repair, I think. And it may only turn out in a minor debacle.
So for all of our new followers, we do have a blacksmith's son who also is active on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And if that bothers you, then I'm sorry.
So you have to live with the background noise, or you're gonna have to watch a how to make coffee Toyota video.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect the negative battery cable. We follow the workshop manual.
Okay. There's an oil leak. So, Christian, we have a subscriber out of Poland and he printed a cap.
Oh.
You may want to do that too.
Drive belt off.
So I didn't get a close up.
That's okay. There are people making a whole video about how to change the drive belt on this car.
Yes, 30 minutes long.
Who pushed the button last?
Yeah, me, but you saw it
I think Robin and we used the same fuse.
Ah, okay, so I didn't do anything.
So I think it's running only on one phase. Robin? Well, Robin, did you kick a fuse out?
Ja. Der war runter.
Yeah, that one. Welding?
No, grinding.
Sure, it wasn't my fault.
No tools. Try to do that on your Toyota.
Yeah.
Everybody can see that I did not break ours.
Yeah.
See these clips? I pull them out with a plier like this. It makes this really easy.
So you do have to take off quite a few.
It not even got dirty, okay? We don't have any dirt in Germany. If we want to drive in the dirt, we're gonna have to get a bag out of Australia.
It's like new. And that dirt is from the Western Alps.
This pipe is in the way. The bolt we want to access on the power steering pump is behind this heat shield in this direction, and to get there we have to loosen this pipe here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Only a couple of bolts.
Yes.
Careful with those, don't bend them. Put
Ah,
on
I hope you didn't cut a wire.
And now we got freedom here.
Freedom.
Now I gotta remove this hose clamp and loosen this pipe. You're gonna go and make lunch while I'm be doing that.
Yes. So our Discovery 4 has not been a reliable source of content. It's the most reliable Discovery 4 on the planet. Look at that, how beautiful it is. But I can't sell it. And I cannot sell the Queen. What are we gonna do now? And I'm not gonna sell that one.
See, I bought me these swivel joints with a spring in it on my last business trip to America because they're easier to get on, okay? Even with one hand I can get that bolt out. Oh, great. So this is the last one. I use this tool and I also use this one here, which swivels here, and a magnet. Of course, I dropped one bolt into the crevasse. Not in a crevice. I was educated that crevasse is the wrong word, okay? Crevasse is like when you have a glacier and it's going down endless, but I still think that suits a Discovery, okay? It's completely, endlessly gone. This turbocharger charge air pipe is now loose, and now the manual wants me to remove this hose clamp here and relocate the charge air pipe to get to the bolt on the power steering. Piece of cake. I'm gonna pull out as much fluid as I can through the top here. Oh. That was way more difficult than I thought it's gonna be. So, I definitely made a big mess with our drive belt. So we'll probably have to replace this one now. I got the pump out, and you can see the pump has 3 bolts here in the front, which you access through the pulley wheel. Now the hard part is really down here in the wheel arch. You have to relocate the charge air pipe in order to get to the bolt on this side of the power steering pump. I can't even get the camera in there. And the tool I used is, like always, my tiny little wrench here. This one, 10 millimeter. Looks like it's exactly the same pump, so that's very good. This oil is from the power steering pump.
So I was sent away for the last 2 hours. He's got the pump out, and here we have a new one. So I am allowed to join again, right?
You're okay to join now again. I gotta replace now the lines here.
Exactly. Oh, look at that. Brand new OEM Land Rover. And look what it says in here. It says Toyota.
But with a D. They spelled it wrong. It's the Toyota. Toyota.
So that is a Maille pump, not OEM Toyota. But it says here, duh.
Pushing the new hoses right where they belong in parallel to the old hoses. This is new old.
So we're waiting for the big mess.
So this hose
is making a mess.
Yeah. This hose was 140 euros.
Oh my god.
Yeah. See, there are O-rings already here underneath.
Oh, that's perfect.
So this gotta go in here first. Like like this.
Oh, you gotta speak up louder because Robin is so loud.
Gotta get this in where it belongs.
Putting a little bit of grease on the O-ring. Second.
Here you can see I got the lines back inserted. And all I gotta do is put this bolt back in here. Click, click.
Yeah.
The line's tight.
So he cleaned off all the steering pump oil.
And now we got a full stop a couple of days because I got the wrong hydraulic line.
Yeah, he thinks he got it from the Euro 4 and that is a Euro 3. Unfortunately, he's got to order the new part and it has to be available first and it has to be delivered. Thank God we have a couple of spare Land Rovers I can drive in the meantime.
And this line fits Fabian's car.
Fabian's car is stuck in Spain, actually. His trip is not going as planned.
So it's the next day and I investigated if I can get a different hydraulic line. And no, I cannot. It's 450 euros for this line in Germany and it's not on stock. In the UK, it's 330 pounds. So I have to figure out a way how to get the EU4 line onto the EU3 pump. I gotta make it work with what I got, or this car will be grounded for a long time and Vera is unhappy, and then she starts to use my Discovery 4, and then she's gonna get used to it because it got so much power and drives so nice. This is the original line, and it was connected right here with a banjo bolt. The EU4 line is an O-ring connection with a bolt on the side, similar to this setup here. I'm gonna have to make a part what I can attach here with a banjo bolt and move the connection over to this side. There is some room in the vehicle right here, and that's where I can connect the EU4 O-ring connection. And I'm gonna have to twist it in an angle, and I have to bend the line outside differently. So a little bit of a machining project. I'm gonna get that started now. I'm in the middle of something.
You called me down here to film.
I gotta do important stuff now. That's a little slow.
Assuming that is for the banjo hole.
Exactly.
Nice.
Okay. The problem is that a banjo bolt needs like to be hollowed out on the inside so the oil can go around. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go in here and machine in a groove.
How are you gonna do that?
Very well. Looking good. I gotta do one more difficult cut. A banjo bolt needs an undercut so that the oil can flow. So I don't want to disturb the upper and lower section of that hole, but I gotta make an undercut right in between where this crosses the holes. This is done with a Wohlhaupter head, what I got from my dad. And this is an extremely special one because it got an advance here. So I can actually, with every revolution, engage the cutter by 0.05 millimeters in diameter automatically. And then it will actually stop when it reaches the depth which I adjusted, because there's actually an end stop on off switch here. You can see that. So this is an extremely special device and I'm using it in this manner very seldom. I hope this is gonna work. So I got the depth of cut adjusted here so I know exactly where to go. Let's try it. I do a simulated cut first. Now I'm holding this. Now the cutter will engage until it's in full depth and then it will turn off. I hear it click, click. Now it's off. I leave it. And now I should have here my depth of cut. That's looking good. Disengage this by one turn. Now I can engage it into the hole at the depth I want. And there we go. You can see it. There is an undercut.
Now he's doing the thingy a banjo hole has.
I'm doing the undercut in the banjo hole.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said.
What's 16 minus 4?
12.
This is quite an exciting cut, you know, for a machinist.
It looks like you are not going to be able to own a Discovery 3 without a full machine shop.
All you need is a lot of money and then it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice undercut.
Oh, I don't see it. Oh, yeah, I see it. Just dropping by once every hour.
Very complicated piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is how Christian works. You know, everybody thinks he has a nice drawing on SolidWorks, but no.
That's all I need.
That's a blueprint.
Yeah.
So I'm being replaced by Robin.
Yeah, he's got more power than you do.
Aw.
For bending stuff. So this is extremely difficult to get this in there. See, this is my bracket.
Wait a second.
I polished it all.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice. There will be, of course, no drawing available.
Not in a million years.
Not in a million years.
So Robin, hold it up one more time.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So now Christian's underneath.
No, it doesn't work.
Oh, what a debacle. Yes, we need a what a debacle t-shirt. That does look dangerous.
Okay. Yes, it is.
That is how Christian's workshop looks after a full day of work. Oh, he's so gonna look for his cell phone and he's not gonna know where he put it last. And let me show you Robin's workshop. Look at that. All nice and clean. That was Christian. Look at that. It's 1 week later. My Discovery 3 is still on the lift. It's still taking apart. Christian had to machine something.
So I had to make a EU4 to EU3 conversion bracket, which is this one right here. So that took me 7 hours to make. Okay, for only 7 hours of machining, we got now a unique part.
By the way, it's 1 week later. Did I mention that? Because Christian has a real-time job.
And it didn't work on the first go around, okay? It took 2 attempts. So this bracket goes in the trunk.
Oh,
Yeah?
no.
I was prepared to make another one.
No shit.
So if anybody wants to download the drawing, this is what I made.
Yeah. So that's actually the first time we ran into problems.
With parts.
With parts,
Okay.
which are absolutely needed. Robin is also here and he's not using the forging hammer this morning, thank God. Making new stems for his hammers, right? DIY, nothing store-bought.
I found a difference right here. This one is shorter, this one is taller.
Oh
okay.
my God.
Here we're gonna use the old pipe on the new pump.
So this is a new one and that's the old one.
There we go. Then I'm gonna use the new one on the old pipe. There we go. 8.8. But I'm gonna have to give this one a good clean first.
I think I need to clean the lens also.
This is now the banjo bolt connection, and I moved this over in the vehicle with a gross drilled hole going through here, which we need to cap right here. So that's the very first thing we need to do.
Oh my God.
This is a cap screw 1/8 inch with a copper washer, and we're gonna put some Loctite on in addition. Tighten this here.
Wait a second.
This looks good. Now this is my cross-drilled hole, which delivers the oil from here to here, okay? These seals I bought from Land Rover for 29 euros when we basically reworked Vera's car. Okay, and this goes now together like this. And in order to reinforce this, I made an additional bracket right here. Well, actually Robin did. So this bracket picks up a hole in the pump. If I would have made it, you would say, oh, it's all crooked.
I'd never say anything like that.
And I'm gonna tighten these lightly. And I adjusted it to 26.
Yeah, because it's 25.
So, and you can see we can still get the belt on here. There's enough room. Robin helped me to bend this line in the vehicle a little bit and get everything in place in the dark. So that was another debacle. I also bought a new short turbo hose connection here because we did not replace this hose when we did the big rebuild of Vera's car, and it's really difficult to access, so we're going to replace this hose here
While we're in there.
This is the other hose we already replaced. That's the low pressure return line from the pump to the cooler, and then this is the reservoir feed line down to the pump.
So I just learned that Ford has an engine which has a belt like that in oil, a timing belt.
Ford also has an engine where they run the water pump off a timing chain.
Oh my God, yes. Ford also has a TDV6 where the crankshaft breaks.
It is not such a bad thing that the crankshaft snaps, but Ford manages to do that over a span of 18 years without fixing it. And that is unique on this planet.
Knowingly.
In order to get the pump in, I had to move the turbocharger inlet pipe all the way down. I have no problem getting this in here. It's very easy.
There it is.
Top bolt in first because the other bolt also holds additional bracket. Okay, so this is the old one and you can see it's really soft.
Ooh. New one, and we do not use those blue silicone hoses on purpose because they have a tendency to slip off.
So you can feel this one and feel this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, you see right here, it gotta go in between. I need to fumble this in off camera because there isn't even enough room for me.
Yeah. That was a major struggle, but he's got it in place. He just needs to mount and tighten the hose clamp.
We just need to mount and tighten everything.
Oh my God.
See, I need a joint and a long extension.
And a wife.
It took me now about 45 minutes off camera to fumble the new pipe in and to stick it back in. And that's not something where I go there like this, easy peasy. No, I have to fight, and I'm here and I'm using... You have to have fingers like a climber, okay, where you can hook in a hole and lift your entire body weight. Okay, how long did that take now?
3 hours.
She's almost crying.
I'm not admitting to any other time. It took the entire day and it's now lunchtime.
Well, the thing is, okay, yes, you can take the body off, okay, for the desktop mechanics. It is overall on a job like this safer and in most ways faster. But why are we not doing it?
The air conditioning needs to be recovered and refilled.
The air conditioning is one of the only things we can't do ourselves, and that's keeping us from taking a body off. Now, the reason this is so hard to do is because of a bolt in here, okay? Not the 3 bolts in the front. They are easy here on the power steering. And I want to say we struggled about 1 hour and 40 minutes and not 4 hours. This is the tool I got that rear bolt on the power steering pump tight with. Get that idea. That's from Harbor Freight. I got the little turbo hose back on. My hose clamps sit perfect. It slipped in all the way. And then over here, I got all these little nuts and bolts back in on that bracket. Click, click. I'm gonna have to get that hose connected to it now. Okay, the tank goes back in.
Yeah.
Get it into the exact right spot. There we go.
Got it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brand new hoses.
So I finally get a new auxiliary belt.
Can't believe people are making a whole video about how to change that belt.
Yeah, it looks all nice. How big my tensioner is.
You can see I even got this metal clip which protects that hose from rubbing through. Then it comes up here and here it loops around and it goes into our brand new bracket here.
And that is not hitting the belt.
It is, nothing is hitting the belt. Everything is nicely away. I'm a little bit worried about the cooling fan.
Oh my
needs
God.
to fit now. Okay.
Yes.
This is only temporary. Close.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, so maybe the Range Rover with the SDV6 is the way to go because you have so much more room to work on.
The Range Rover got one little problem. If you open the bonnet, it looks like the engine is missing.
Yeah. There's a second air intake box missing.
Okay, now we got clearance. There's the cooling fan here.
Yeah.
This is looking
Look
good.
at how little the clearance here is.
Well, that's why when people lose this bolt here because they don't tighten it, it comes out and the fan hits it and it throws all this away and breaks it. Everything temporarily installed. We got the air crossover pipe here, got the cooling fan, and I'm gonna have the battery connected here. And now we're gonna fill in some fluid and we give it a first test.
And we use a Liquimoli ATF 1800.
Yeah. Okay, I'm a little bit worried that this is gonna make a major oil spill. Okay.
Okay. Beautiful start. Ah, you see it's dwindling. Stop! Stop! Oh, it was gone and then it came back.
Oh, what a bad fluid. It was gone and came back.
Yes, yeah.
Fill it back up. But did you notice something?
No noise. Next start. It's not gone.
Ooh, there's a little bit more what I gotta fill in.
Yes, but it never went below that level.
Right to the middle. Okay. There's the new bracket right there. And that's where I got to check for leak. There's also this little plug screw I educated everybody about. And there's the line connected to it here. So that's where I'm going to check for leaks.
Robin just inspected Christian's weld on a tool he made 7 years ago. And
Can you repeat what you just said?
He did no weld bead preparation, so there is no penetration.
It was 7 years ago.
The weld is ground off, so you do not have full strength, and it is only welded from one side.
exactly. Oh my God.
Look that. Robin just put that right here. Okay, it's always the opposite direction you would think, like this.
Now that is the way I would go.
Okay, compressor is back. Now that was nicer.
Perfect. Now it's perfect.
Okay, she was complaining, okay? It didn't make the correct popping sound and then...
We are still working on the heat shield.
Yeah, the heat shields are a lot of work.
Yes. First, we're going to torque that wheel. It's not torqued yet.
It's good enough for a test drive.
No.
What I gotta do now is I gotta re-enable the air suspension first.
Yes.
And re-enable EAS. Proceed.
You see, it's not in limp mode anymore. And then we're ready. I'm so stressed, so that's 2 weekends. Wee. Ooh, that sounds nice. Oh my God. A little bit. Maybe 10% or less is left.
Well, that's now suspension, but the majority of the noise is gone. And most of the desktop mechanics said it's the knuckles, okay? There is still...
Steering noise left.
That might be the knuckles like the desktop mechanics said.
Which we ordered new.
Yeah, we ordered all new. But the majority of the noise is gone. There is still some noise left, so we're still gonna fix the suspension. Hopefully the desktop mechanics are right and this remaining noise is the wheel knuckles, because I got those. It's a huge difference, but it still has that distinct squeaking noise. So I think this was about the most difficult repair we did on your Discovery. It took 2 Saturdays.
Yes. And I cannot imagine doing that repair on a Discovery which has not been rebuilt. That means all our nuts and bolts have been copper greased. They were easy to open.
Actually, it was also the first repair where we started discussing if we sell the vehicle.
Yes.
But once it fired up, it's all good.
Once that engine starts, all is forgiven.
Okay, so at this point, we want to thank our Patreons a lot for their support. And
We'll see you next Sunday.
good. Now let's get your cover.